Welcome, welcome to another relaxing lore video. Today we're going to visit the lands between for some interesting Elden Ring lore. Specifically, we're going to have a look at Ranni's story. But first, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more ASMR gaming content. And now, let's get started. I am the witch, Ranni. I stole death long ago, and search now for a dark path, that I might one day upend the whole of it, and rid the world of all that came before. Ranni the Witch, initially known as Lunar Princess Ranni, but also as Lady Ranni and Rena, was born to Radagon, the champion of the Golden Order, and Rennala, queen of the Full Moon, head of both the Carian royal family and the Academy of Raya Lucaria. Alongside Ranni, there were two brothers, General Radan and Praetor Rykard. Chosen by the Two Fingers as potential successor of Queen Marika, Ranni was bestowed the title of Empyrean. This meant she was a special being capable of ascending to the status of a god and usher in a new age. To aid her on this path, the Two Fingers assigned Ranni a shadow, a loyal bustle named Blade the Half-Wolf. Queen Rennala endorsed this decision, and Blade was raised alongside Ranni as her foster brother. Ranni grew up playing with Blade, and they were often accompanied by a troll blacksmith named Iji. Ranni's forming years were marked by three important events. The first was her initiation to the mysteries of her Dark Moon. This was an enigmatic ritual through which she was guided by the gentle hand of her mother, Rennala. What she beheld at the end of it was cold, dark, and veiled in occult mystery. The second event was the encounter with the Snow Witch, a snowy crone. They regularly met deep in the woods, and the crone eventually became her secret mentor. The Snow Witch taught Ranni code-based sorceries, but also warned her to fear the Dark Moon. The full Dark Moon, cold and leaden, would become Ranni's sigil and symbol of her power and authority. Finally, the third event was her father Radagon abandoning her mother Rennala in order to marry Queen Marika. Ranni and her siblings were thus raised to demigod status by their stepmother. In order to understand what comes next in Ranni's story, it is now necessary to explain some fundamental concepts of the Elden Ring universe and its key figures. First of all, the Elden Ring isn't a tangible object, but a concept representing the law of the world. Long ago, the Greater Will sent a golden star to the lands between, bearing a beast that later became the Elden Ring. This creature is the final boss the Tarnished confronts in the game. The Empyreans are special beings able to become vessels of the Elden Ring, and therefore become gods. At an unknown point in history, an Empyrean named Marika became vassal of the Elden Ring. She, therefore, became a god, known as Queen Marika, the Eternal, and she established the Golden Order by sealing away the Rune of Death. So began the Age of the Earth Tree. Marika's descendants and her immediate family are all demigods, meaning they are heroes and have received a powerful blessing from the blood of Queen Marika herself. All these demigods are immortal thanks to the containment of the Rune of Death. This condition will change at some point, but I'll come back to that later. As with all the Elden Ring vassals, Queen Marika was gifted a shadow, her half-brother Maliketh, and it was Maliketh that sealed the Rune of Death into his blade and became its custodian. Queen Marika took a consort named Godfrey, who became the first Elden Lord. They had 3 children, Godwyn the Golden, and the twins Morgoth and Mog. Marika then banished her consort Godfrey from the lands between, creating the first Tarnished. It was then she took another consort, Radagon, and he became the second Elden Lord. At that point, Radagon's 3 children, Radahn, Rykard, and Ranni, were accepted by Queen Marika into her family and were given demigod status. Marika and Radagon had 2 more children on their own, twins again, Malenia and Migella. Ranni, Malenia, and Migella were all Empyreans, meaning they could all become gods and take Marika's place when the time had come. Finally, let's talk about these enigmatic 2 fingers and what they represent. In short, they are envoys of the Greater Will, and they have, among others, the responsibility of selecting the Empyreans that might inherit the Elden Ring. They also assign shadowbound beasts to these potential gods, and they offer advice to the Tarnished. It is still debated if they can only identify Empyreans that therefore are already born with that potential, or if they can bestow this gift onto the candidates they select. At the time the game takes place, the 2 fingers are thought to be corrupted, senile, and broken, along with the Earth Tree. We can now continue Ranni's story. Though handpicked by the 2 fingers as Marika's successor, Ranni harbored a profound resentment towards her predetermined role, refusing to be a mere pawn in the machinations of the Greater Will. To break free from this fate, she devised a complex scheme, envisioning a grisly ritual as her path to liberation. First of all, Ranni stole a fragment of the Rune of Death from Maliketh. Next, she imbued with it the weapons of Numen assassins, all of whom had connections to Queen Marika. For the ritual's success and her subsequent freedom, Ranni had to slay her own Empyrean body while preserving her spirit. This required the simultaneous death of another being. The night the plot was carried out was forever known as the Night of the Black Knives, assassins descending upon Leyndell, the royal capital, they struck down Godwyn the Golden, the son of Marika and the first Elden Lord. The assassins carved the curse mark of death into his flesh. At the same time, Ranni performed her own part of the ritual, causing the curse mark, meant to form a seamless circle, to be fractured into two half-wheels. Godwyn therefore perished in spirit alone, while Ranni became the first demigod to die in the flesh. But her soul was preserved. Godwyn's remains were interred in the Earth-Tree roots, where he underwent a grotesque transformation, emerging as the entity known as the Prince of Death. Moreover, remnants of the Rune of Death seeped through the network of roots, manifesting as the sinister Death Root, spreading its tendrils across the lands between. Ranni, free from her body, transferred her soul into a doll modeled after her mentor, the Snow Witch. Whether Ranni was privy to the true target of the assassin's blades remains a mystery. Nonetheless, the aftermath of the Night of the Black Knives brought about a seismic shift. Queen Marika, wielding her hammer with resolute determination, shattered the Elden Ring in an act of defiance and rage. As punishment, Marika and Radagon found themselves imprisoned inside the Earth-Tree. This event caused the corruption of the Golden Order and resulted in the lands between falling to ruin. The shards of the Elden Ring, known as the Greater Runes, were inherited by Marika's progeny, her children and stepchildren, including Ranni. But she cast her Great Rune aside, and its whereabouts are unknown. Following the Night of the Black Knives, Ranni withdrew from the world, seeking refuge within the confines of Carian Manor. There she entered prolonged periods of hibernation, her doll-like vessel necessitating respite. Meanwhile, her agents worked tirelessly to bring about her plan of ridding the lands between of the influence of the Greater Will, allowing to pursue her divine ascension on her own terms. Ranni suddenly awakes from a slumber when she is tarnished has returned to the lands between, as she finally sees the opportunity she was looking for. What follows is an account of Ranni's questline, assuming the player selects Ranni's ending following the defeat of the Elden Beast. Ranni and the Tarnished first meet at a site of grace, where she gives them the spirit calling bell. The Tarnished's adventures bring them to Carian Manor, where they meet Ranni again, and she accepts them into her service. Ranni, therefore, sends the Tarnished into Nokron to find a weapon able to kill the Two Fingers, upon which she wants to wage revenge for identifying her as an Empyrean. Ranni's champion, after various tribulations, manages to retrieve the Fingerslayer blade, and later meets Ranni in Noxtella. With the means to exact retribution within her grasp, Ranni orders the Tarnished to kill the shadows dispatched by the Two Fingers to claim her life. Upon the Tarnished's triumphant success, Ranni gives them the keys to a chest containing a ring destined for her future consort. As the Tarnished presents the ring to Ranni, thus becoming her chosen consort, she reveals her grand design to ascend as the successor to Queen Marika and usher in her Age of the Stars, but at the same time depart from the lands between to journey into the cosmos, therefore granting to all people free will over their own choices without the interference of the greater will. With the Elden Beast vanquished, the Tarnished summons Ranni, fulfilling her plan and setting in motion a new era for the realm. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and maybe check my other ASMR gaming videos. The links should be on the screen and in the description. Until next time, take care and stay relaxed. Bye bye.